What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This article grabbed my attention. I was on comicbook.com looking over some news on movies and shows and stuff, and I saw this and I couldn't help but say I need to do a video on this. This is something that I need to talk about. But before we get into that video, I would like for you guys to, if it's not too much to ask, like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe. Share with your friends and family. Now, I'm sorry if it's like the tone's a little different for the video. I do not feel well at all. I've been coughing, sneezing. My sinuses have been messed up all day for the last 3 days, but it's really been bad today. So I did want to talk about it. I did want to bring you guys a video. I'm trying to bring you guys videos a lot more frequently instead of waiting sporadically. I'm trying to stay in the algorithm so you guys can get my videos. If you guys' notifications aren't on for me, please put them on all. Take them off of personalized, because you guys aren't going to get notified when I do upload. I do post on my Twitter. I do post on my YouTube news feed, or my news post feed page, or whatever you call it. But I just thought we'd talk about this because for the longest, Marvel and fans alike have speculated and or wanted Mephisto to be part of the MCU. Now, the first heavy tease, and I would have to say that was nothing more than the fans' fault. The first heavy tease that we got was from WandaVision over on Disney Plus when that came out I think about 2 or 3 years ago. They heavily implied in the show that Mephisto was behind the whole thing that was going on with Wanda Maximoff. It was heavily implied in the show because there was a lot of Easter eggs that were going on that related to Mephisto, who the character of Mephisto was in the comics. Her twin boys also being created by Mephisto in the comics. It was two hands. So fast forward to basically the end of the season, it came out that the director, for one, never read a comic book, and for two, didn't know who the fuck Mephisto was. Now that's funny because you dropped a lot of Easter eggs in your show that had Mephisto written all over it. Now, is that their fault? Because they never said Mephisto was going to be the villain of that Disney Plus show. So it's not their fault. It's wishful thinking on the part of the fans. But we never got Mephisto. Then I was hearing that Mephisto was supposed to make an appearance in one of the most recent Marvel properties, and he was supposed to be a Lucifer-esque type character, like how DC's Lucifer is over on Netflix. The whole businessman, dressing nice, and yet again, we haven't seen and or heard anything about Mephisto. So this article, Deadpool and Wolverine considered having Mephisto as its major villain. So we're going to read through it and we're going to talk about it a little bit because I find this kind of interesting. And I only find it interesting because we're past the point of having this kind of villain. This is a whole, you need villains that impact the multiverse as a whole. That Kang would have been a good one, but we saw how that went, and the whole thing that was going on with Jonathan Majors and his girlfriend kind of ruined that. Thanos, again, a multiversal threat because he could have wiped out life across multiverses, but he stopped at wiping out life across our universe because of what the Celestials were doing. Now we're in this mutant phase And Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be a film that takes place across different multiverses. So we're going to read this and see what it says. Marvel fans were pretty close to seeing Mephisto on the big screen in Deadpool and Wolverine. Marvel's Resident Devil was a big point of interest in WandaVision, with several fan theories speculating that Mephisto was the show's big bad in disguise. However, that turned out to be Agatha Harkness, who is headlining a spin-off show. As for Deadpool and Wolverine, it appears the creative team landed on Charles Xavier's twin sister, Cassandra Nova Emma Corrin. That's who's playing Cassandra Nova, as its villain to counter the reunited Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman as Wade Wilson and Logan, respectively. Though, as we just learned, Deadpool and Wolverine was heavily considering Mephisto instead of Cassandra Nova. Now, this is... a movie like this needs a multiversal threat, or at least a person that threatens the multiverse in some way. Cassandra Nova, from the trailers that we've seen, she has her own sling ring, and the sling rings that now we know from the Doctor Strange movie, you can traverse the multiverse with the sling ring. Ryan Reynolds released a picture of said sling ring on Twitter, on his official Twitter page, and it had the Time Stone and the... which one was it? It was a Time Stone. I can't remember. And the Space Stone, I think it was, embedded in the sling rings. I think... don't quote me. Take it with a grain of salt. Go over to his Twitter and check it out. But I think it was the Time Stone and the Space Stone that was embedded in that sling ring. Mephisto wouldn't have been a good fit for this film, I feel. Mephisto, we are past the phase or phases of the MCU to where we could have introduced Mephisto and it would have made sense. Mephisto is more of a, because he's a demon. He's a demon from his own realm, and he's not even the devil. But Marvel is, I think, if we ever do get Mephisto on screen, he's gonna be the devil. He's gonna be Marvel's devil. He's a demon. He's one of the higher demons that runs hell, or a version of hell, or a version of his hellish realm, which I think we got a look at in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for like 5 seconds when they were falling through the multiverse. But Mephisto, hell, I would have loved to see him on screen. Don't get me wrong. I would have loved to see what they would have done with the character on screen. And I'm kind of glad that they went in another direction as far as Wolverine and Deadpool goes. But let's read more into it, see what more they have to say, and we'll get back to that topic. Collider spoke to Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy and stars Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, where they were asked if they could put one villain in the movie that they didn't get to, who would it be? It was the name of the villain we flirted with. Sean Levy asked out loud, Mephisto. Ryan Reynolds responded. Okay. Levy continued, that's who it was. So they had in their head, and probably earlier drafts of the script, had Mephisto as the main antagonist for this film. But if Deadpool and Wolverine is going across different multiverses, you got the TVA, and then you have Cassandra Nova, and then all the other villains interloop through that. Now you have to ask yourself, does Mephisto really make sense? Unless Marvel was going to do something to where they made Mephisto so fucking powerful that he could walk through different multiverses, and because he can travel between different dimensions, and is that character powerful enough to affect the dimensions? That is the question. That is the question. And I think they landed on Cassandra Nova because she is that powerful and witty to fuck up every multiverse that she comes in contacts with. Now, the question is she the villain, true villain of this movie? I don't think so. I think the TVA is the villain of this movie. I think the TVA, because the TVA are the time variance authority, so they keep the timelines in check with trimming variants that could potentially cause a branch or destruction of a certain timeline. Now, I didn't watch Loki season 2, but we all know Loki became the bookkeeper of the timeline. Yggdrasil, he created the world tree out of the time. I saw that little spoiler, but I wasn't interested in watching Loki season 2. Loki season 1 was all right, but it's not the 2012 Loki that we were supposed to get. And that's not how it was advertised at that time either. But Levy continued. That's who it was. We went through a lot of almost versions of this story before we landed. Frankly, it was the infamous call from Hugh. But then it was this idea of Cassandra Nova as a sibling to Charles, because Cassandra's link to Professor X creates an interesting dynamic and fascination in Cassandra about you to Jackman. Now, let me just go ahead and say this. I think Charles Xavier is a lot more powerful than the movies and even the comics gave us. I think Charles Xavier across vast multiverses could link with every single mutant that has ever existed. Charles Xavier is a level 5 mutant, along with Eric, who is Magneto, and other mutants. Level 5. There are no limits to the strength, the sheer mental strength of Charles Xavier. And Cassandra Nova is just as powerful. They're gonna make her probably more powerful than Charles Xavier because women do it better. But I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because from what we've seen from the trailers and the promotional art, or not the promotional art, but the promotional trailers, she does look like someone to be reckoned with. Okay, the new bit of rumor mill speculation is that Sacha Baron Cohen will be playing Mephisto in the Ironheart Disney Plus series slated for a 2025 release. I didn't know that was still releasing. We ain't heard shit about Ironheart in a while. I thought they canceled that. And that's what I just told you guys in the middle of the video. That's where I actually heard it. That in Ironheart, Mephisto's gonna be like a Lucifer-esque type character. How Lucifer was on Netflix's show, that's how they're gonna make Mephisto. And I did a video on that a long time ago, stating that they're just copying and pasting. They're not coming up with anything original, new. You're gonna take from one property and make it your own. Which, hey, they do it. Marvel and DC both do it. We all know this. This is understandable. This is something that they've done for over a decade. Okay? But before you guys get on me in the comments, their comic books, the TV shows, their animated shows, their movies, they've copied each other left and right. You know, characters are ripoffs of each other. A lot of these DC characters came out first, and then the Marvel characters came out, and vice versa. So they copy each other. It's just what it is. But that's where I heard that Mephisto was officially supposed to make his debut. And who was supposed to play it? Sacha Baron Cohen. I don't know who that is, but he was supposed to be like a Lucifer type character. Even though it had almost been, even though it already had been reported that Deadpool and Wolverine wouldn't have a secret cameo by Taylor Swift, Ryan Reynolds felt the need to end the ongoing speculation. I will say once and for all that the cameo thing with Taylor, because she's our friend, that is not in this film. I never really cared if Taylor Swift. I'm gonna be completely fucking honest with you. Ryan Reynolds was sure to give Taylor Swift her flowers, though, saying the music megastar deserves to do more in Deadpool 3 than just make a cameo. She deserves the whole damn franchise. Okay. I always do say that if anyone ever were to take over the role of Deadpool, actually, Taylor would be very good, Ryan added. No, Mr. Reynolds, you fail to realize that you are never not playing Deadpool again. Like, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, you're Deadpool. No one can replace you in that fucking role. I am sorry. You can't pass on the mantle. You can't kill off the character. You are and forever will be Deadpool. Wade Wilson, the merc with the mouth. Okay, that is you. You have embodied that character so goddamn much that sometimes I think you are him. Your other movies, you're playing Deadpool. Okay? Deadpool as a super spy. Deadpool as X, Y, and Z. You are Deadpool. You're not. No, Taylor Swift. No, I'm sorry. Because that's a superhero that I don't know that she shows everyone too often. She's one of the funniest people I've ever met. And then this article goes on about what Deadpool and Wolverine is about. In Marvel Studios' Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpool Ryan Reynolds will change the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Wolverine Hugh Jackman. The film also stars Matthew McFadden as Paradox. That's who the villain is going to be. Paradox, from the leader of the TVA. Okay, Paradox. And Emma Corrin as Cassandra Nova. With the return of Deadpool alums, these are people who have played the characters in other Deadpool movies. And I'm not going to go through all those names because I already know I'm going to slaughter half of them. But, we're also getting Jennifer Garner. So that's confirmed. Jennifer Garner is coming back as Elektra. Aaron Stanford is returning as Pyro from the X-Men Sony films. 20th Century Fox, not Sony. I'm sorry, and I think I made that mistake in my video yesterday or before. It's 20th Century Fox, not Sony. Marvel properties just every fucking where. Kevin Feige, Ryan Reynolds, Sean Levy, and Lauren Schiller. Yeah. Okay. So why would they, what is Deadpool and Wolverine about? It's basically, Logan and Wolverine are gonna go across multiverses. Now, there were earlier theories that Deadpool was gonna go across and kill off some of the Fox characters, and some of them were going to get trapped in this timeline, and that's how we were going to be introduced to mutants. But that's been debunked because Marvel's doing their own introduction with mutants. Namor being a mutant, Miss Marvel being a mutant, which make no fucking sense because Miss Marvel is an Inhuman, and it was never confirmed in the comics that Namor was a mutant. So they're doing their own thing with mutants in the MCU. There's always been a certain thing with mutations because Bruce Banner's Hulk is a mutation. He's a Jekyll and Hyde he's basically a Jekyll and Hyde mutation. The super soldier serum and radiation created or just brought out what was in Bruce Banner. That's what they're doing with the Red Hulk, but Red Hulk has cosmic energy infused with gamma radiation. I'm kind of curious to see which way they go with that. But hell, This video went on a lot longer than I thought, but those were some things that I did have to talk about. I did find it very interesting that Mephisto was supposed to originally be the villain for Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine, but a couple years ago they was talking about him making his first appearance in Ironheart. But now Deadpool and Wolverine is coming out before Ironheart is. So they were supposed to introduce him first in Deadpool and Wolverine, and then I guess he was supposed to bleed over into Ironheart. Now, am I saying Mephisto isn't a big enough threat? No. But do I think Mephisto is even capable of affecting every multiverse that has ever existed? No. Do I want to see bigger villains? Yes. But we're getting this. And this is how we're going to introduce the mutant phase of Marvel. Do I have confidence in this next phase? No, I don't, because Marvel has shown me that they can give us one good thing and then 15 other fucking pieces of dog shit. They did that with Spider-Man No Way Home, and then what came after that it just started to decay after that. So you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this. Will you like to see Mephisto make an appearance in the MCU? And you tell me how and what would make sense for him to be in the MCU. How would it make sense for him to be in the MCU? I kind of missed that mark with Wanda Maximoff, because her and Mephisto did have a big storyline in the comics. So you guys let me know in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Even if I get 14 views on the video, 14 more people saw the video, and I can't do nothing more than appreciate you guys. You guys have a lovely day. I'm out. I'm gonna go take some medicine because your boy ain't feeling well.